I don't scan QR codes and neither should you. Your personal information is at risk with QR codes. Touchless QR codes open new doors for scammers. Are you familiar with these attention-grabbing headlines that have been going around lately? If you're not sure about using QR codes in your marketing because end users may be skeptical to scan them, don't worry. QR codes are a powerful and secure physical to digital engagement channel that give you a chance to collect first-party data and collect valuable insights about your audience. You know this, but how would you reassure your customers to scan when they're wary of doing so? There are ways to tell your audience that the QR codes you've deployed are safe and secure so that they're not afraid to scan your codes. Here are the 6 best practices you can follow to ensure that your consumers are using safe QR codes. Let's go. Design your QR code in a way that is consistent with your brand identity. You have to embed key elements of your brand's visual identity in the QR code's design. Fake ones often skip this step. By ensuring that your brand identity is consistent throughout the QR code experience, from the design of the code to the landing page, businesses can assure consumers that your QR code can be trusted. Remember that a consistent visual brand identity is key. Add your brand's logo to the QR code. Of these two, which QR code are you more likely to scan? This one is clearly the winner and is likely to be scanned more. Your customers should be able to scan your QR code without a second thought. You can ensure this by adding your brand's logo on your QR code, a feature most QR code generators provide you with. Confirm that your domain name matches the website URL. In the early days of the pandemic, when QR codes saw a massive surge in usage, many companies hopped on the bandwagon and ended up using random QR code generators. Although these generators delivered an effective touchpoint for their consumers, they provided an overall inconsistent experience. This left the door wide open for phishers and scammers, as the domain these QR codes led to was unrelated to the company itself. Now that customers are aware of these scams, they can make sure that after scanning a QR code of an enterprise brand, the URL that they have been led to belongs to the company they expect to be directed to. For example, at a Marriott resort, when a user scans a QR code with their smartphone camera, they're prompted with a link. They can either choose to go to the link or not. If the link displayed belongs to a custom domain that includes the Marriott brand name, they can be reassured that they'll be led to where they expect to be taken. Having a custom domain assures the user that it's a genuinely branded QR code. Make sure the webpage that you are leading your users to after scanning the QR code is SSL certified. SSL certificates enable websites to move from HTTP to HTTPS and tell users that a website will A, keep their data secure, B, prevent attackers from creating a fake version of your site, and C, make sure that the user is talking to the correct servers that actually owns the domain. Without an SSL certificate, browsers will tag your website as not secure. So if you are using a QR code generator that also provides you with a landing page, make sure it displays the lock sign and has the ability to add your domain name, or a secure domain like qrcodes.pro. Make sure the QR code generator you use to create QR codes is GDPR-compliant. General Data Protection Regulation has reformed how businesses process and handle data. Businesses compliant with GDPR are bound to protect their customers' information from any outsider, including unauthorized third-party websites. For businesses especially, the information they share in the QR code generator solution is exclusive and sensitive. A secure QR code generator must offer solutions that match enterprise-level safety requirements, including encrypted data, restricting access to personal data, and ensuring the confidentiality of services and systems. In light of recent security breaches, this law can help businesses protect their information. GDPR also prevents companies from selling data to unauthorized third-party companies and how they can control their data from being misused. Regular QR code generators, both online and app-based, that aren't GDPR compliant cannot assure their users how their data is being used or distributed. Although the protection law comes from the EU, it can also apply to businesses outside the region. Therefore, GDPR-compliant QR code solutions typically offer safe QR code practices. Your customers can rest assured that their data is in safe hands and is always protected. Invest in a QR code generator that gives you the ability to create password-protected QR codes. Having password-protected QR codes, especially for payment, bank statements, and other essential documents, is paramount. A QR code generator with password protection increases the security of any sensitive information that you wish to encode within QR codes. For instance, let's say a QR code is embedded in a user's bank statement for approving a loan sanction. When the QR code is not protected, the documents can be easily accessible, exposing critical information to anyone. With password-protected QR codes, this can be prevented. From a business perspective, here are 2 things that you can look out for to make sure you are using safe QR codes. A. Is the QR code solution you use SOC2 certified? SOC2 certification, developed by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, is an auditing procedure to ensure that organizations manage data safely and securely. Did you know that Office 365 email accounts were compromised for at least 9 months before being detected? That's crazy, right? That's why when you make sure your QR code solution partner is SOC2 certified, they will have alerts set up for a number of solutions like exposure or modification of data, controls configurations, file transfer activities, privileged file system, account or login access. When businesses like yours scale QR code campaigns globally, it's important that you feel secure while doing so. SOC2 compliance ensures just that. B. Does it have the option to log in with SSO? If you are an enterprise, you require an end-to-end safety feature when you create and edit QR codes for your campaigns, especially if you're dealing with high volumes of transactions that cannot be disclosed to everyone. Having the option to log in with SSO restricts logins by setting permissions to a few trusted employees. This promotes an added layer of security as it wards off unknown users from logging in. If you are a small or an enterprise business that leverages QR codes for marketing, inventory management, product packaging, business cards, or anything that can be thought of, you have to make sure that you are using safe QR code solutions that have features like 1. Making custom QR codes, 2. Adding your brand's logo to the QR code, 3. Custom domain name, 4. SSL certified, 5. GDPR-compliant, 6. Ability to create password-protected QR codes, 7. SOC2 compliant, 8. Ability to log in with SSO. When you rely on QR code solutions that don't follow these best practices for better security, you might find yourself in an embarrassing situation like this. Heinz, the food giant, ran a promotional QR code campaign in which people could scan and be redirected to a site where they could design their own label for a bottle of Heinz tomato ketchup. Instead, the users were led to a, wait for it, porn website. How embarrassing could that have been? This was what happened. Heinz failed to renew their registration of the domain that the QR code linked to, which was then snatched up by an opportunistic porn site. Heinz could have avoided this tricky situation had they used dynamic QR codes and a secure domain. Alright, before we wrap up the video, I want to tell you about Beaconstac's QR code solution. It not only checks out on all these features, but has one additional security component. It's called the Beaconstac Shield. It's an anomaly detection framework that identifies inconsistencies in user scan behavior and filters such traffic. This helps maintain data sanity and protects your campaigns from skewed analytics. Remember we spoke about SOC2 compliance? Well, Beaconstac is the first and only QR code platform on the planet to be SOC2 Type 1 certified. That's some major brownie points that Beaconstac scores over other QR code platforms. Sign up for a free trial on Beaconstac and explore the QR code safety features yourself. The link is in the description below. If you have any questions about using QR code technology for your business, drop them in the comments section below and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching.